Alright, hey everybody, excuse me, how's it going? Let's see, what do I want to talk about today? I mean, there's so much stuff to talk about. One thing I'll start off by talking about is, there's a boycott going on of the NFL right now, and, incidentally, I'm reading a book right now that goes into a lot of detail on the fact that the NFL is completely weaponized entertainment. And I've been posting questions in Yahoo Answers. And the people that have been responding, I had a guy respond and straight up say, I won't look at it, fuck that video, I won't click it. Or he said, nope, like he's pleased with his decision to sit around and watch these people run into each other on a field, and he's so happy with it that he won't. That's his dedication in life. You know, that's who he is. You know, so oh, and also if you're watching me on Just TV, you can tune in on my YouTube channel talking about life. Except in there's no video. I generally just do audio recordings. I was doing videos on Let's Talk Politics with an X, but what ended up happening is they've cut my videos to where I can't get them up. And one of the things I did recently was I took a skit from Tim and Eric, which a lot of times see, this has been published by AdultSim.com, and a lot of times if something's already been published by the original author, they'll say something like we'll just put ads up on it. Which, sure, I can understand. But this video, I'm using it for a political purpose. That means it falls under fair use. I appealed the copyright violation. They then gave me a chance to appeal. They denied it. They gave me one more chance to appeal and said, if you fail this appeal, then we can suspend your account indefinitely. And at that point, I said, well, I'm going to appeal it anyways because, this is stupid. And incidentally, it's Turner Broadcasting, which Ted Turner himself, I have an actual video under my Ron Paul and FEMA camps where he's sitting there saying, oh, well, there's nothing draconian going on over there in China the way we enforce that one-child policy. And his wife is sitting there in the interview, and she goes, no, I think it actually is draconian. I mean, that kind of, goes into what Alex Jones prophesied, when he was, if that's what you want to call it, foresaw outside of Bilderberg with this microphone and stuff, and he said your wives are going to leave you. You know what I mean? And anyways, you've got that plus, Clint Eastwood's wife just left him supposedly. I think it was her who left him. I'm not sure. But, and there he was selling out in front of the whole country trying to talk about how, we pulled together so that we can all get inflation for somebody who's made poor business decisions and completely violate, not only, illegally do it, which it is illegal, so he's pushing illegal actions because the only thing that we're permitted is gold and silver, and that could never be done if not. Plus the fact that, it violates, invisible hand, which basically determines that, we move forward as a society based on the fact that people have choices, and out of those choices, the stronger will proceed, the weaker will fail. But as a society, we all win, and as we can see, it's worked out. We have so many more people that have just inhabited the world. The overall population has doubled several times in the last just 100 years, 150 years. So yes, it is better for society because everybody's saying, oh, what about me? What about me? You're reaching up like trying to just ripping people's hair out and everything, ripping their skin off because that's what they think is that the only way I can get ahead is if I'm just willing to just literally step on top of somebody's head and just crawl up a mountain of people stepping on heads and stepping on faces and just necks might get broken, whatever. That's what people are taught, and it's like, this may be a bad example. I remember Tiger Woods' mother saying that she's Chinese. She's like, I teach him in competition, whatever, just stomp on the head, and I'm like, but you know, he's basically saying she's probably proud of her son. I mean, he's a billionaire because of golf. And but either way, that's another thing about these sports, is that through the consolidation of the currency, and this is all foreseen, you know what I mean? This is all stuff that has been planned and utilized since the days of Napoleon. You know, I mean, getting people to take false currency, which is nothing but debt, and then there's interest attached to that, so you never get out of debt. and even if you didn't believe that, the quote unquote, it's not even federal, it's not even a reserve, and I'll go into both of those here in a second, is nothing but handing over the monetary system to banks, literally, on paper. And you had people like Woodrow Wilson, who outright said that we need public spirited people like J.P. Morgan to take over the monetary system, so a panic like 1907 could never happen. Well, let me explain something to you about J.P. Morgan. He had monopolies in agriculture, had monopolies in banking, he had monopolies in freight. He had all those monopolies. You know? So, he was the monopolist of his time, more than John Rockefeller or whatever, who had huge oil monopoly. And anyways, so they had a meeting on Jekyll Island. It was determined that the banks, the major banks of that time, would get shares in the new organization, which takes away the authority from Congress to print money in secret. And it's just like what happened, and so it's in secret, so we don't know that much, but let me explain to you what I do know. In 2008, they printed up $800 billion. On top of the $800 billion, they printed up $16 trillion that we have found out about through Supreme Court lawsuits, that they, on top of it. And what goes on inside the Federal Reserve, nobody really knows what goes on inside the Federal Reserve. We weren't ever supposed to find out about the $16 trillion. Ever. Do you understand? Do you even know what $1 trillion looks like? I mean, I saw a picture the other day of what it looks like, and it's, man. Oh. Anyways, so, you know, and people act like, well, it's just infinite, you know, we can just print up as much as we want and whatever, you know, we're rich, you know, but it's not just unlimited. Let me just explain to you the concept of infinity, okay? It's not reserved for our monetary system. It's not reserved for how much money you have in the bank account. Even if you made a lot of money last month. That's what a lot of people think. I made a lot of money last month. I can just spend as much as I want. They're broke within a week, you know? And that's just the way people think. Well, it's not going to work out, okay? And other than that, man, people are so freaking retarded. I mean, here's the problem. You turn on the television, you get lied to. And I'm sitting here trying to watch NCIS to see what they're going to say on there, because I know it's going to be some propaganda. Has to do with, you know, Al-Qaeda. You know, everybody, well, I believe in Al-Qaeda. You know, and you know, people just shoving it in your face like, I believe it! You know? Just, you know. And, you know, it's just, that's their identity. Because they feel like that. They feel empowered by the fact that they think they have a threat somewhere. And they're fighting an enemy. You know? Well, let me explain something to you. If you really want to be worried about a threat, why don't you think about aliens? Because Mexico's Minister of Defense held a press conference and showed large orbiting, or large glowing orbs trailing their aircraft. And they didn't know what it was. And, you know, if you need an enemy, why don't you have one? You know what I mean? But that's not what it's about. It's about being a petty-ass little bitch. It's about being a little kid, man. Do you understand that? Because it's cute. It's cute to be juvenile. It's cute. It's cute to know. You know what I mean? And these people have the maturity level of children. That's why you can't expect anything out of them, because they're idiots. And so, but anyways, the problem is that they pulled off 9/11. That was a whole inside job deal. And I mean, if you look at the evidence, if you really look at it, it's really interesting because, and I'm not going to go look in my comments anymore because somebody shows up every time I get on Just TV and asks me, do bugs scare me? And that's their little defense mechanism for, being scared and pissing their pants. Like I said, like children. They are children. And what's really funny about this guy is it doesn't matter if I make the video at 11 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, somehow he manages to show up. So either he's on the computer all day long, or something else. Okay, so but either ways, it's just a fucking nightmare. I mean, this is how people like get off on being stupid. You know what I mean? This is how they get off on being children. This is how they get off on it, man. I mean, you talk about sick. You talk about filth. You talk about retardation. You talk about children. You talk about stupid ass people who need to have their heads smashed in. I mean, you talk about some dumb motherfuckers. And I've damn near beat somebody's fucking ass here in the last year, period. Just because I've been through so much shit. I mean, living in the most enslaved country in the world. And I used to just make videos just about this, but I can't just do videos just about this. You know what I mean? First of all, drug prohibition isn't anything but a symptom. And then plus that, I can't just talk about it, I can't just talk about it. But either ways, it's... Anyways, it's just a nightmare. So yeah, so I got out there in Oklahoma, most heavily per capita enslaved state, second overall, but per capita just blows everything else out of the water because their overall population is so low, and they still are second most enslaved state in the enslaved states of America, and or the slaves of America. Anyways, the number of people we have in prison in this country is more than China, and at the time I was trying to get business going and stuff like this. Well, here's the thing about the filthy society. I've been in and out of prison so many times due to drug prohibition or enslavement. I mean, I've been in and out of enslavement so many times that I actually have lost everything, several times over, like you would expect, It's like it had dog catchers turned on people, and they were all just picking up people, like, 40,000 kicking in doors every single year, and everybody was getting off on the denial. Then you could probably expect that, people would have stories like this. You know what I mean? So anyways, it's the way it is. And so the fact is I've been I've lost so much stuff. I mean, taking out business, loans for tens of thousands of dollars, and then going into enslavement and losing everything, and then being in debt, and then coming out and having to start all over again, and then being under electron microscope, bodily fluid, thought police, biology, obedience training, enforcement, thought police, Orwellian obedience training, technology, screening my bodily fluids. After they got done putting me through a brainwashing facility that was developed by the Soviet Union in East Texas. Yeah, even that. After all that, it was kind of screwed up because then I started smoking K2 to get through probation, which I can't say if it was caused the post-traumatic stress disorder that it was known to cause when it was operated under the word MK Ultra rather than the United States term Safe P. It's a FPF, but it was something that I needed at the time and turned to K2. And man, I got a hold of a lot of it, and it basically turned me into a dumbass. It did. It turned me into a zombie, man. Because here, I didn't even realize, but I met people after I got caught after I got dog napped. You know what I mean? By the dog catcher in Oklahoma. Enslaved by the dog catcher in Oklahoma. Human dog catcher. Then, then I went to this facility, it's a rehab, which my dad, you know, his wife, I'm not very happy with because she took all our family heirlooms and destroyed them, and we caught her, you know what I mean, doing it. And then I tried to confront her about it. She wouldn't even let me get a sentence in because, how would you even sit through the allegations if they're all just prove that you did that? You know what I mean? And then by the time, I got through all that, was about the time they showed up, incidentally, probably not incidentally. I mean, this is how they work. They surveil you, and then they strike when the time's right. They'll strike when the time's wrong, when the dog catching is best. And anyways, the human dog catching anyways, so I got in there. I had a broken foot at the time. They took my cast away, and then my dad turned on me, and because she just kept destroying stuff. I mean, and that's another thing what I'm talking about. I've done so many positive things for his business to help it, make more money and stuff, and then the projects that came in as a result of that and everything, and then she just felt like she just had to destroy everything we had, and that's just how it feels. It's just the more I do in a positive direction, the more I get screwed, I mean, if I start a business, if I get something going, I need to get enslaved so that I can be indebted and not have anything, and then have my biology screwed with because I just got out of a brainwashing facility by the Soviet Union that causes post-traumatic stress disorder, and then be forced into taking a drug that causes people to become zombies so I can't even get on my feet again, and literally screws up my relationship that I eventually end up getting continued because I couldn't quit fighting all the time. And then she came down with all kinds of, strange diseases as soon as I was watching something out that was a televised clip of, trillions of dollars that came out, and it was on one of the most popular websites in the world. Well, somebody had to beat on their chest, you know what I mean, and let me know, that this is communist nation, most heavily armed nation in the world, and it's supposed to be normal for me to just go and cower somewhere and actually think I'm free while fireworks are going off outside and everybody's singing country music about how free they are while living in the most enslaved country in the world. But I'm supposed to think that I'm actually enslaved, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, my whole life has been under counterfeit money. I never knew it. Why do you even say the word freedom? I mean, why should I have ever expected that? You know what I mean? Anyways, so had a huge chunk of skin come out of it. Was probably like 2 or 3 centimeters deep on the back of her neck. Everybody I was in closest connection to just died. I mean, they shut down the entire website of YouTube. I documented all of it. Anyways, and why not? You know what I mean? I mean, all I wanted to do was start a family and be successful in life. Son of a bitch. Here comes this motherfucker. He's serious about, Al Qaeda and stuff and football, so every night he comes up here and leaves his door open so that I can know that I'm being watched, and that's kind of the way it's meant to be, That's part of the protocols of the ancient I think it was changed to the Protocols of Zion, where they said they'd effectively have a third of the population willing to observe, monitor, and surveil and snitch, for the reasons of feeling like they're part of the government, And anyways, the point is oh god. It just sucks, man. It really sucks. And so, I could have done better for my life, you know. Could have done better than being. Oh, wait a second. I think somebody's up here. Hold on. Anyways, yeah, I could have done better than to be the most enslaved country in the world. Could have been happier, you know. But anyways, oh, screw it. All right, well, I think I'm done for tonight. 20 minutes. That's not very long, but if I do something every day, I think that's good. And yeah, I've done pretty good. Anyways, I'm done. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully tomorrow night I can do more and, you know, make a longer video. Nobody's even watching right now. Probably nobody will show up to my YouTube channel. That's another thing. Had my YouTube. What the hell? Anyways, I had my YouTube channel. They kept blocking me from. Oh God, I can just feel this guy responding to my voice, knowing that I'm talking about this up here. It's just like, it's just the ultimate intensity of just wanting to get screwed. I cannot even explain it. These people are, their identities are getting fucked. You know what I mean? That's their identity, getting fucked. I just can't explain it. How the fuck do you exist like that? I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, that's like a black hole. Its purpose is to destroy itself. There's nothing there. What do you expect to happen? You're a fucking bunch of fucking morons. Anyways, the point is oh, it's frustrating. Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I got the emails. I really need to make a video about it. I've got so many videos now. I'm tired of making videos about it. But anyways, I got emails that I sent out just a few days before. They stopped video responses altogether and said it's because nobody watches them, except 1 in 4 million, which my videos directly contradict that. Even with the number of views of the videos I responded to still have, and I could show you in the analytics. And anyways, they within just a few days after that, they canceled everything. So I can show you the emails that predate that, and I need to just get it over with, because I know what it was actually was something else. I used to, well, if I run into some real serious stuff that I can't even deal with emotionally, like shutting down the whole internet where I can't even get to a website because I've indicated that I wanted to make a video, make a video about something, and so then I go and I call the Alex Jones tip line, and I'm like, these mother, and then I say a lot of stuff, and and then I come back and it's working again. So, but either ways, it was something along the lines of me calling into his tip line and saying, I was talking about the fact that my video responses weren't working, and then I was talking about how they had been promoted in the past, and well, I don't even know. I think I was just bragging on myself probably at that point. But either ways, it was well. Problem is when you're making comments like that to other people, you always question whether or not you should even be telling them anything, and then you want to make yourself seem like more relevant, just to not be a nuisance. And either ways, the point is that that was probably what did it. Just talking about it, you know what I mean, was enough to lash out for these fucking jealous, no good fucking. Oh man, there's words that I can't use right now, and you've heard the words I've said. There's words that I still can't use. Anyways, because the kind of person that will do something like this is just, I know what it is. It's something that doesn't even have control over itself. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the movie Underworld, where he's like, at least your brother doesn't have control over himself. He's an animal. And he's that wolf, you know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Jealous-minded, just the chest beating just can't be hard enough. Okay? Anyways, I'm done for now. I just want you to understand what's going on and try to explain some things. It's pure hell out here. You know, we're living in an enslaved country. There's statistics in the description. Take a look and come back. Thank you.